Good evening, my fellow infected psychopaths. Today I'll be injecting you with the insanity that is my voice. Let's get started. Come on, give me something good here. What the fuck is this? This thing's outdated. Come on, give me something better. Bye. Are you fucking serious? Oh shit. Shit. Stupid, outdated piece of shit! It's beautiful. Nice! Now this is what I'm talking about. What a nice dream. And a nice gun too. Too bad I don't have that. Cue the montage. I want to shoot this thing. I want to shoot. This, my fellow infected psychopaths, is the advanced revolver that I like to call Break Shot. This revolver is unique because it has one feature that none of my other previous revolvers have, and that's its ability to take speed loaders. You see, in a few movies and games, I've seen revolvers that use speed loaders to reload instead of the usual loading one cartridge at a time method. I was inspired by this revolver type and wanted to make my own, so I did. The weapon has 3 parts: the frame, the winding mechanism, and the trigger. The winding mechanism uses the same mechanical elements as my previously made revolvers. Essentially, the mechanism consists of a rubber band tied to a Lego axle and pin connector to a 1x5 Lego plate. This same axle and pin connector piece has an axle connected to the front side. This same axle is threaded through the holes of 2 more axle and pin connectors. A gear and a technic wheel is used to ensure that the axle doesn't go anywhere I don't want it to. In front of the winding axle and pin connector sits another axle and pin connector. The whole of this part is to help guide the speed loader into the winding mechanism. Oh yeah, which reminds me. The speed loader consists of a gear that has Technic tracks wrapped around it. Attached to that are 7 specially designed parts that hold the projectiles. The part of the gun that holds the winding mechanism uses a hinge and spring to move the system up. A stopping point is built into the frame of the weapon to ensure that the hinge doesn't go too far up. How the cylinder and the part of the gun containing the winding mechanism stays locked in place after loading is actually quite interesting. You see, there are 2 variables working together to ensure that everything stays locked in place until it's reload time, of course. The first is located in the beginning sides of the frame. Lego plates are used to connect to the part of the weapon containing the winding mechanism. The second variable is almost like a latching clip. This latch clip consists of 2 Technic lift arms that each are attached to a wheel thanks to frictionless axle pin. Each of these newly made arms are attached to the sides of the revolver. If you notice, a rubber band is attached to each lift arm, and there's a reason for this. So remember how I said this mechanism is like a latching clip? Well, my description isn't that far off. You see, if you notice in the back of the cylinder, there's these wheels that make a almost rod-like structure. When I push the cylinder down, the rod part will roll past the lift arm wheels into an empty space. The Technic arms will then lock the cylinder in place. When I want to load a new cylinder, I simply pull the spin cylinder up, which will roll past the lift arm wheels, and the part of the containing the winding up mechanism will disconnect, allowing me to remove the spin cylinder easily. I will then pop in a new cylinder, attaching it to the pin axle connector, and then turning it a few times, then push it all the way down, locking it in place. The great thing about this mechanism is I don't necessarily have to load the guns this way. I can just reload it like I would on my previously made revolvers, and just load the projectiles in one at a time. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, on each end part of the cylinder there's a 2x2 smooth tile glued to each left side of the part where the projectiles are being held. The purpose of this is not only to ensure that the cylinders don't misfire when I'm storing them, but it also helps the chamber projectiles to get stopped by the projectile stopper located on top of the gun. Now, with that out of the way, it's time to talk about the main guest of honor. The trigger had to be a completely new design, because you see, here's the thing. My first revolver used a simple lever mechanism to push up and release the projectiles, while my second revolver used a gear system to push up the projectiles and release them. For what I wanted, it had to be out of the way so I could still load in a new cylinder, but still be able to push up the projectile so I can fire the gun. This was quite the conundrum for my maddening brain, until I had a catching of a lightning in a bottle of an idea. What if, hear me out, what if I made a mechanism that can both lift up the projectiles, but also be retractable so it won't be in the way when I try to load in a cylinder? The trigger does exactly that. The trigger is designed to be long enough to go through the handle and is connected to a lever. On top of this lever is another lever-like structure. However, unlike the previously mentioned lever, This one has a elastic string tied to the short end of the lever to a axle located on the back of the frame. On the long end of the lever too, it has a 4-1-6-7-8 part connected using 2 pins. On top, located near the back of the gun, is a 1x5 plate and a 32028 plate. These 2 parts is to keep the lever 2 in check. When I pull the trigger, it will push on lever 1, moving lever 2 with it, which will then cause the elastic string to want to move lever 2, but can't due to the 2 top plates keeping lever 2 down, until the parts that's attached to lever 2 moves away from plate 32028. Lever 2 will no longer be restrained by the plate and will be forced up by the elastic string. This act of motion will flick the projectile up, firing the gun. The winding mechanism will then turn the cylinder, since the previous projectile will no longer be blocking the cylinder movements. The cylinder will move clockwise until the projectile gets stopped by the trigger. That's why I manually push down lever 1, which will then retract the rest of the trigger mechanism. When I do this will cause the cylinder to move just a little bit until a new projectile will get stopped by the projectile stopper. This will allow the weapon to be ready to be fired again.
Distances 17 to 18 feet or 5.1816 to 5.4864 meters.
This was a lot to cover. And that's not even all the information. I still haven't mentioned the sling-based projectiles that the weapon uses. Don't worry though, I'm not gonna cram more information in your head. Mostly because I already mentioned this in my last video that uses this ammunition type. Make sure to check it out though. Also, feel free to check out my last 2 revolvers. The mechanisms are quite unique and interesting if I say so myself. Just keep in mind, the first revolver video leaves something to be desired. The video was made when I was first starting out, so the quality may not be well received. So just take it with a grain of salt, if you will. Anyways, that's all the time we have today for this class of Arsenal. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also hit or shoot the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out my other videos. Until next time, see you later, you psychopaths.
Bring me back to life.